ini.
Which particular songs are the most lethal to sing in public? Then Cardi B's would certainly be banned by that Swedish survey. So Biden is being totally irresponsible giving interviews to this Cardi B killer.
Jimmy Sepulveda, you're going to prepare your trees and landscapes for the dreaded hurricane season. Cutler's Edge showed a landscape solution to prepare your trees before the storm. And there's no better company to rely on after the storm to clean up and restore your business and association trees and landscape back to normal. That's what we've done at Harmedia. They're the official landscaper of our company, and we've done a spectacular job. So contact them today, Cutler's Edge, for a free estimate. Here's the number for you, 954-472-0622. That's 954-472-0622, or online at cutlersedgepro.com. Time's running out to win $1,000 a day for life from Publishers Clearinghouse. Enter at PCH.com, and you and your family could soon be celebrating the win of a lifetime. Don't miss your chance to win $1,000 a day for life on October 31st. Go to PCH.com before it's too late. That's PCH.com. Better hurry if you want the next big winner to be you. Enter now at PCH.com. Entries due 10/28. No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited.
WIOD, Miami, WBGG FM, HD2, Fort Lauderdale. Available everywhere with the iHeartRadio app. Now, #1 for podcasting. News Radio 610 WIOD, an iHeartRadio station. Your news starts right now.
Good afternoon. A mix of sun and clouds with a couple of showers mixed in. Temperatures in the upper 80s. I'm Al Lewis. Kids a little bit closer heading back to the classroom in Broward County. You have that story in a moment. First, going to check on traffic. Reno Grant in the WIOD 24-hour traffic center.
Our South Florida expressway is crash-free. Police activity northbound Palmetto past Coral Way blocking the right lane. This report is service of Electrolyte. For faster hydration, reach for Electrolyte. Electrolyte's great flavors and scientifically superior hydration formula help you recover from a long workout, long night, hot day, or just help you find perfect balance. Electrolyte. Reno Grant, News Radio 610 WIOD.
Watching 610 Doppler radar, some storms mainly over western Broward County, Coral Springs, Parkland getting a little wet, 89 degrees there. Southwest Ranches and West End, some rain there. But downtown Miami, it's dry at the moment, 85 degrees at 2:01. Broward moms and dads may only have to be their kids' teachers for a few more weeks.
Given the way the trends are going, we could open certainly this fall and as early as sometime in October in the next few weeks. But that decision will be made on September 22nd.
Broward School Superintendent Robert Runcie is proud of how his district has responded to reopening safely online. He says the infrastructure has been in place for 5 years, and teachers had been undergoing detailed training since the summer. Well, this survey probably won't be positive. Miami-Dade Public Schools sending out a survey to parents of elementary schoolers asking them for feedback on the K-12 learning platform. The online system was down most of last week after a 16-year-old South Miami High student hacked the system. The site is only being used by pre-K through 5th grade this week, so it's not overloaded. Superintendent Alfredo Carvalho says he'll decide after Friday whether or not he'll continue using the $15 million platform. You can learn how to log on to the Miami-Dade portal to take the survey at WIOD.com. 55 days and counting until the election, so it's no surprise President Trump is visiting South Florida today.
The commander-in-chief making a presidential pit stop in Jupiter, touting his environmental record. Barry University's Sean Foreman says Florida is a must-win battleground state, so the Democrats are also making a presence this week. Kamala Harris and her husband are visiting Miami Thursday.
They're sending Harris to Florida because there's been some concern amongst Florida Democrats that they're getting ignored. There's some concern that the Biden campaign is not doing sufficient outreach to the Hispanic community.
In 2016, President Trump lost Miami-Dade to Hillary Clinton by 30 points, but a new Miami Herald poll out today shows Biden is struggling to win Miami Latinos. Wendy Gershman, News Radio 610 WIOD.
I-95 drivers, listen up. Starting tomorrow morning, a right northbound lane will be closed around the 395 MacArthur Causeway for about 3 weeks. You can stay to the left to continue north, but you can also hop on the 195 eastbound through the tunnel exit. That'll allow you to re-access I-95 north. Crews plan to shut down the entire northbound span tonight at 9:30 to make the transition. An Amber Alert being issued for a missing 10-year-old Miami girl, Randy Canyon, last seen Saturday night in the area of North Bayshore Drive and 78th Street. She's 5'3" inches tall, about 140 pounds. She may be in a white van with a man. See the picture of her at WIOD.com. More young adults are living with their parents amid the pandemic.
Empty nesters are having to redo their life. Their grown and independent children are moving back in. An analysis by the Pew Research Center finds 52% of 18 to 29-year-olds are sharing homes with their parents, up 5% from February. The number marks the first time more than half the group's been living with their parents, and the most since the Great Depression. Natalie Rodriguez, News Radio 610 WIOD.
News brought to you by the Perry Financial Group. Stop gambling with your retirement funds. Negative trading on Wall Street with the Dow down 323 points to 27,810. NASDAQ is down 282 points. S&P 500 down 54 points. It's 2:04. More news coming up at 2:30. More Rush after we check weather on News Radio 610 WIOD. Did keep temperatures down yesterday. Had a little rain around. Temperatures staying in the middle part of the 80s. Now more tropical moisture in place. Not associated with any tropical depression or anything like that, but there's multiple systems out there. Yesterday, 87 degrees, 0.44 inches of rain. More scattered showers and thunderstorms this morning and this afternoon, 88. 80% chance of rain, 50% chance of showers and thunderstorms early tonight, 79. Tomorrow, 80% chance of showers and thunderstorms, 89. Thursday, scattered storms, upper 80s. With updates around the clock on South Florida's Severe Weather Station, on the Weather Channel Trace Station, on News Radio 610 WIOD.
This report is sponsored by Unbound.org. Right now, there are young people across the world facing a tough choice. Continue their dream of education or drop out to help their family put food on the table. You can help change their future in a single moment. See how far your support can go at Unbound.org.
You've likely been hearing me talk about a new erectile dysfunction medication that has recently become available. This is Jeff, director at the Atlantic Men's Clinic, formerly Men's Wellness Center. And since we started using this medication in our practice, we've seen some amazing results. At the Atlantic Men's Clinic, we do our best to stay on the forefront of ED treatments. Now, having seen the results of this new med, I'm even more excited to be able to provide it to our patients. The Atlantic Men's Clinic is all about men's sexual health. We're nothing like the online pill companies that just offer a one-size-fits-all approach to ED treatment. We offer many different protocols, and even if this new treatment doesn't work for you, we have others with success rates as high as 90%. In fact, we may be able to have you performing like you haven't in years. Make your appointment today. For just $99, we'll get a consult, blood work, and if medically advised, a test dose. And if that test dose doesn't work in the office, your visit is free. Call us today at 877-455-7300 or go to AtlanticMen'sClinic.com. We have 3 locations: Miami, Plantation, and Boca Raton. Miami and Sotomall. MiamiandSotomall.com.
Yes, America's Anchorman is away, and this is your EIB Anchor Baby. Honored to be here, thrilled to be here. It's always terrific to be behind the golden EIB microphone, and a particular honor for a foreigner, but we will have some full-strength, authentic, all-American excellence in broadcasting for you before the end of the week. All American as apple pie, but for today it's American as apple pie à la mode. Just for the frisson of the foreign about it. We are in the final stretch, the final leg of the election campaign, and so weird. I don't think anybody knows what's going to happen, but I do think that the Democrats and the media and various other factions are so on message that something is happening out there. Something is going on. People are making their plans, and the plan is basically they don't want to have what happened in 2016 happen again. They were so taken by surprise by, you remember how it was, whatever it was, 9:43 p.m. Eastern time. The New York Times had a 97% chance of a Hillary victory, and then Trump won Florida, and it went down to 22% chance of a Hillary victory in the next 12 minutes or whatever. And in those 12 minutes, basically, Democrat world collapse, and Trump was allowed to appear, at least for a few hours, as if he had legitimately won the presidential election, which he had. And then they started trying to reverse engineer it by bringing up all the Russian collusion and the deep state stuff and impeaching him for whatever they had to hand, culminating in the actual impeachment with something nobody cares about, the president of the Ukraine. You know, back all the people now are telling us, oh, Trump should never have allowed this COVID thing to happen, COVID. All that time, they were, not a single Democrat was talking about COVID. They were just talking about some Ukrainian phone call. And they were making the president focus on Ukrainian phone calls by lawyering up and having this stupid trial. And now it's Trump's fault, according to Andrew Cuomo, for the COVID. But the mistake, all this, they know they're not going to put up with another 4 years of Trump. That's what they've determined. They didn't want to do it last time, but they tried all the usual means. They tried the deep state machinations. They tried the impeachment. They tried the Russia collusion hoax. They tried, the independent counsel investigation, and none of it went anywhere. So if they get to wake up on November the 4th and they're looking at the second Trump term, and they call up Robert Mueller, and they call up Peter Strzok, and they call up Adam Schiff, and they...
Hey, you guys, check it out. This building that's coming up on the right side, the white building that looks real old. I made a video on this building. It's the Anderson's Corner, and the video that I made about it, it's that supposedly is haunted. You could look it up on Google, and it'll show you this building right here, and now they're selling the property. So it's Anderson's Corner. Anderson's Corner. Look it up.
So you have, as happened in Pittsburgh, diners in an outdoor dining area being intimidated. Bleep the white people that built the system, one demonstrator said at the patron. So you're at some fancy schmancy place, and you're paying whatever, and you're having the salmon tartare and the sea bass and all the rest of it, and people are coming up and yelling, Nazi lives don't matter across your table, grabbing your drink and drinking it and then walking away. They're doing this, intruding into your space. Because the definition of a civilized society is basically how easy you can insulate yourself from its worst pathologies. And here, the insulation is getting worse. So you have things like these appeasing mayors in Portland and places. They start demonstrating outside the guy's condo, and he announces, and they go in there, the condo lobby, and set it on fire, entirely indifferent to the other people, other than the useless appeasing mayor who live in the building. So the useless appeasing mayor says he's going to move, which is easy for him to say because he's the mayor. A lot of people don't find it so easy to move. They're coming to you in restaurants, not just in Pittsburgh, but in Washington, D.C. What do you think it's going to be like if Trump wins Florida around about 9:47 p.m. on election night? Now, Zuckerberg, the Facebook guy, Mark Zuckerberg, he said yesterday, I believe this was, he said, what we and the other media need to start doing is preparing the American people that there is nothing illegitimate about this election taking additional days or weeks to make sure all the votes are counted, unquote. Mark Zuckerberg. What we and the other media need to start doing is preparing the American people that there is nothing illegitimate about this election taking additional days or weeks to make sure all the votes are counted. Who died and made you election overseer? You're a guy who owns a company, and it's a very successful company. Shouldn't have been allowed to get that big. It's now more powerful than most governments on the face of the earth. But even so, who exactly appointed you to start saying there's nothing illegitimate about this election taking additional days or weeks. Because with one exception, it hasn't generally taken days or weeks. Normally, and this is how the media traditionally plan their sets, is that you have to get to a certain number of electoral college votes. So the polls start to close around 7 o'clock Eastern time, and the big shot anchors are there with their panels of experts, and they chit-chat about this and that, and over the first hour or two they start to call this or that state. And usually, not just in America, but in most functioning societies, late in the evening, they have established that a certain party or a certain candidate has won a majority in the electoral college or parliamentary seats or whatever. So when Mark Zuckerberg says that he and the other media big feet need to start preparing the American people that, oh, no, when we tell you that this election that used to take place on one day, that's why we call it Election Day, that's why the Constitution starts to talk about the day on which the election is held. That's how it's been for 2 1/3 centuries. But pay no attention when we start suddenly telling you that no, this time round it's going to take weeks. But there's nothing unusual about that. No need to be scared about it. It's just something that's entirely legitimate. Why are they talking about this now? Because they're not going to make the same mistake they made in 2016, in which they allowed Trump to be presented to the nation as the legitimate winner of the election for just a few hours on that Tuesday night, and then on Wednesday morning they'd, oh my God, this is so, we can't allow this, we've got to start working to undermine it. There is something, I'd be interested to hear from any never-Trumpers, any liberals. You're welcome to give me a call, 1-800-282-2882, and just why it has suddenly become legitimate, in Zuckerberg's word, legitimate, to suddenly say it's perfectly normal in an advanced society for a presidential election to drag on for weeks and weeks and weeks and weeks, because no other country is talking about this, and it's actually sick. They wouldn't be they wouldn't be planting the normality of a disrupted election if they weren't planning to do it. It's the most bizarre thing, and they're serious about it. They're serious about it. And as I said, we are now in one of those hinge points of history. If you talk to British people from the British world, they talk about the handover of global dominance from Britain to America. There's a point in somewhere in the Second World War where at one point Britain had more men under arms than America, and the next month America had, and there's historians who identify that as the moment at which the baton of global leadership passed. Then you have the French, who look on the Anglo-American continuum since the Battle of Trafalgar as one long continuous period, and they look on the Battle of Trafalgar as the moment when the French regrettably were eclipsed by these vulgar, boorish Anglo-Americans. And then you have the Chinese, who take a bigger view that the last half millennium of Euro-American dominance has been a complete historical anomaly, and we're now moving into the half millennium corrective when China resumes global dominance. That's the issue. China did this to us. China gave this to us. China now has the world's #1 navy. Again, it came out in the news, I think it was last Wednesday or Thursday, and had been forgotten 3 hours later as if it's a fact of no significance. No! The fact that China, Wuhan, who the hell had heard of Wuhan before February? Now it's infected the planet, some town you've never heard of. But it's in 3 months it had infected the planet. Thank you, China. China has the world's largest navy built by American taxpayers. You know, if we had a war with China, it'd be like the war with Afghanistan, it'd be like the war with the stupid whatever it is we're doing running around Syria. It'd be just another war we lose, but with the difference that we're paying for both sides. Because basically American taxpayers, through going and having everything made in China, have actually paid for the new dominant Chinese military. Again, no precedent for this in history. And we have this Washington uniparty. We have one man. You can say certain things about Donald Trump, but Donald Trump was actually the first guy to say China's the issue, China's the problem, we ought to do something about China. And if we don't do something about China soon, it's going to be too late. And you look at the Chinese, you look at these guys on the Chinese Politburo, they spend their time, they work, put in a hard day's work establishing Chinese global dominance. What are we going to do today? Well, you know, okay, we got the WHO bought and paid for. Is there any other UN agency we need to make a wholly owned subsidiary of the Chinese Politburo? They do that 9 to 5. And then for a laugh, they switch on the TV for an hour in the evening to see what the Americans are up to. And the Americans all running around running stories like how police tear gas is causing transgender men to have menstrual cycles that they haven't had in years. Or, oh, look at this now. What's the biggest news in America? Oh, they're all exercised about Francis Scott Key, the guy who wrote the Star-Spangled Banner, whether he was a racist or not, so they're tearing down his statue. They're tearing down some Confederate general. They're tearing down a Norwegian abolitionist. They don't know who, they're just tearing down all the statues. It's the war, you know. We deserve, a society as stupid and myopic as that actually deserves the fact. And that's on the ballot. That's the issue on November the 3rd, whether we're going to have an administration that actually seriously confronts the reality of Chinese dominance, or a vile, corrupt family like the Bidens who are actually on the take from the Chinese, like Hunter Biden is. That's what's on the ballot. And Zuckerberg is saying, oh, we need to start preparing the American people that there's nothing unusual about the election dragging on for weeks. Oh, yes, there is. It's deeply weird, and it's actually creepy that you, Big Brother Zuckerberg, are actually talking about how you're going to implement the plan to get the American people used to it. Mark Stein for Rush, your call straight ahead.
When you read the Limbaugh letter, you're prepped to combat liberal madness, because El Rushbo supplies you with an arsenal of facts. Subscribe to the print edition of the Limbaugh letter and you'll get free Rush's dad's famous inspiring speech, Stand Up for America as Founded, the signer's secrets that can save us today. Order now at rushlimbaugh.com. You're listening to the EIB Network. South Florida's first news with Ginny Cephalo, weekday mornings at 6.
Athletes nationwide talking about the relief they're getting from Level Select CBD sports creams and roll-ons from Cadenwood, the leader in CBD. Baseball legend Steve Garvey, with a National League record 1,207 consecutive games, uses Level Select CBD daily. He swears by it. Countless other athletes, including former quarterback Carson Palmer, PGA champion Ricky Fowler, find Level Select CBD helps keep them in the game. It works for them, it can work for you too. Level Select CBD has a full line of products to choose from, all independently tested, made in the USA, with 0% THC. Go to LevelSelectCBD.com, use the promo code CBD30 for 30% off any of their CBD products. That's LevelSelectCBD.com and the promo code CBD30.
Not available in Idaho, Iowa, and South Dakota.
On September 18th, don't miss Infidel, the new heart-pounding political thriller inspired by true events.
You are an American spy. What?
Infidel tells the story of one man's incredible journey of faith and survival after being kidnapped in the Middle East, and his wife's courage to never give up on him.
This is terrible.
When his country abandoned him, his freedom became her mission.
I came here to save his life.
Starring Jim Caviezel.
Do your job.
See Infidel Infidel. Only in theaters September 18th.
When the idea of divorce becomes a reality, you need someone on your side. If you are a man in this situation, you should consider contacting Cordell & Cordell, who has helped men navigate complex family legal issues for 30 years. Visit us at CordellCordell.com to learn more.
Contact Cordell & Cordell to schedule an appointment with one of our firm's Miami area attorneys. Online at CordellCordell.com. Se habla español. Legal services available in English and Spanish. Cordell & Cordell, Miami, Florida. Lisa Carges, Florida resident partner. Announcers are not licensed attorneys.
Now, cars, trucks, SUVs, motorcycles, boats, or RVs, Autobuy is the only car buying company that always pays the max. For your quality pre-owned vehicle, you can find them at WePayTheMax.com. Hey, it's Manny Munoz. Look, there's a reason Autobuy continues to be America's #1 car buying company. They do what they say. That's pay the max. So make an appointment to stop by one of their 10 buying locations, including their newest on Oakland Park Boulevard and in Boca. Make sure you get the max at WePayTheMax.com.
Hi, Greg Hughes here with Hughes Private Capital, a family-operated real estate investment company. Do you own investment property with little or no debt? If so, you have trapped equity, which is not working for you as hard as it should be. Through a 1031 exchange with Hughes Private Capital, you can sell your investment property, free up your equity, and earn double your current net rental income. How is this possible? Well, by investing with us, you'll be putting every dollar of equity to work for you. Plus, you get the added benefits of paying no taxes on the sale of your property, and you'll never have to deal with the landlord hassles or expenses again. We know people tell us it sounds too good to be true, but we've done this for hundreds of investors. Plus, if you want to get your money out, it's easy and painless, so you can invest with peace of mind. To find out more, go to investyourequity.com. That's investyourequity.com, or call us at 888-515-5353. That's 515-5353.
Tired of paying high electric bills? Does your bill seem to get higher each and every time? We live in the Sunshine State, so why not let the sun pay your electric bill? Hi, this is Adam Kaufman from Bison Roofing and Solar, and I want you to stop renting electricity from the power company and start investing in your future and raise your home's value. Find out how you can completely eliminate your electric bill with solar.
Tune into the Solar Power Hour with Bison Roofing and Solar this Sunday at 11 o'clock on News Radio 610 WIOD. Go to WIOD.com, keyword solar for more info.
You want us, just ask for us. Okay, Google, play WIOD on iHeartRadio. News Radio 610 WIOD.
Baby, everything is all right. Uptight, out of sight. We're trying not to be too uptight as we move into the final leg of the presidential election campaign 2020. Let's go to Alfredo in Davie, Florida. Alfredo, it's great to have you on America's #1 radio show. What's on your mind today?
Hey, Mark, pleasure to speak to you. Double dittos to Rush.
Yeah, thank you. Yep, absolutely. Mega praise to Rush and Catherine, too.
Yes. Hey, your comment with Kamala Harris about she's not taking the vaccine.
Right.
I think this is just a little cue for the Democrats that the first person that gets sick or dies of this vaccine, they're going to turn it around on Trump, and they're going to be all of a sudden turn anti-vaccine.
Yeah. Yeah, I think there's a lot of truth in that. That vaccines don't work for everyone, and if there is somebody that they can say, look at this poor person, just like the picture-perfect, most telegenic victim we could come up with, that's on Trump, that's round Trump's neck.